How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another trade recap. This is day 23, I think. Either 22 or 23, I'm not too sure, of my journey to profitability. I do that every video, I always forget what day it is. From now on, I'm going to start checking. And yeah, this is day 23. 1 to 3.4 risk to reward ratio. Today was a no news Monday, so I was a bit skeptical on if I should take the trade or not, but we ended up taking the trade because price action didn't look too bad. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's take the trade. Now, funny thing, I was actually at 8 o'clock when it first started. I was on GBP JPY. I was marking out stuff on GBP JPY. Why has it? For some reason, it's just the stuff that oh wait, that was GBP USD. There we go. I was marking out stuff on GBP JPY for some reason. Because when it loads into GBP JPY straight away. So I was accidentally marking out on this, and then I realized after, I was like, oh shit, I had to quickly make the change. Yeah, so let's get into it. So today we hit a very good trade. We marked out our highs and lows, as you guys know, the higher time frame key levels. On the 4 hour, we were in a downtrend, but we had this weekly opening gap. Now, normally with these gaps, these normally happen like after Saturday, Sunday, when the market opens at 11 on a Sunday night. That's when it normally happens. So I was thinking, yes, like my bias is bearish, but price will retrace into here and then end up coming back down. And because of that gap, Asian session highs were actually right there as well. So that's a perfect take profit for me if the session lows did get swept, which they did. This was a picture perfect trade. Everything was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. Now I'm gonna show you guys. I had an opportunity to go short because we had this 1 hour fair value gap right here. We had that 1 hour fair value gap when market opened. Price actually went up and hit that fair value gap. The reason why I didn't enter shorts here was because session lows were right here. So if I did enter, so let's say, look, we got a breaker structure here, and then we retraced up into that order block, and then we got selling power out of it here. I would have entered here, my stops would have been above these highs, and my take profit would have been down at session lows. So it would have hit, but obviously risk to reward doesn't really matter. Like, if you're positive about the trade, you should take it. This was a good setup as well, but it's just, if I'm waiting for this session low to get hit and my take profit is there, that means I am sure that that session low is going to get hit. So why don't I just wait for the session low? And then my obviously overall bias is bearish, but there's that opening gap and price would want to retrace back into it, which it normally does. So I was like, let me just wait for that. And it's also a no news Monday. That's why I was like, let's just see how price moves first before I actually enter the trade. So about half an hour in, that's what we did. Price, it does look a bit dodgy on the 1 minute, but on the 5 minute it was completely fine. We just had to move down. Now this is why, this is why I'm saying this is a A+, like top setup. We touch this fair value gap, make a perfect move down. People will enter the trade off that fair value gap, but won't spot this session low. Price sweeps Asian session lows, comes up, takes out traders that entered over here, probably stops above the fair value gap. I don't know how some people trade, but yeah. So price would have took those traders out. This is why and look at all this low resistant 15-minute liquidity as well. We have this high, and that session high with that massive opening gap. That's why for me this was an A+ setup. So we swept out Asian session lows. Once we swept out those lows, at first I thought it was going to create an SMT, but then S&P ended up sweeping it as well. So once we swept that out, we got a breaker structure right here. We closed above that high. That breaker structure gives us this order block to play with, and then price ended up coming back down into it. We got buying power out of it with this candle. So once that candle formed, I placed my trade. My first take profit was just above this first fair value gap right here. That was my first take profit, and my second take profit was just up at Asian session highs. This is what I mean about low resistance liquidity as well. TJR says this as well. When it sweeps out one, it will end up sweeping out all the others as well. And the reason why I knew price was gonna come up all the way to this high was because these were 15-minute highs, but that one at the top was a 1 hour high. So higher time frame holds more power. It will go up and, you know, sweep that out probably. Now look, we swept that out. We touched this opening gap, and now price is probably going to start moving down. But anyways, guys, yep, this was my trade. We made around, I think, 2%, 2.5% with this trade, which is really good. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time I trade.